Hey guys, so it's been a while since I've made an actual video in my school library, but I thought since I'm still on maternity leave, as you guys probably know, I just had a baby recently. He's almost 4 weeks old, and I thought I'd film in my home library. So today I'm going to tell you about some authors that I'm willing to give a second chance. Now, I've read at least one book by these authors, some of them multiple books, and I didn't like them. But I'm willing to give them a second chance. There are some authors I've given second chances, I'm done with them, never read from them again. But these are all pretty popular, well-known authors that I'm willing to give a second chance. So let's get started. So the first author I have read 4 books from, and that is Sarah J. Maas, or Maas, however you say it. So for some reason I even bought these books, which you're like, if I didn't like them, why would I buy them? I don't know. That's a good question. I kind of like them in some really weird, sick way that I just punished myself and made myself read them. So I read this last year at school thinking it was a YA novel. Then I learned it's what's called like new adult. It's very like romance heavy for sure. And honestly, that's the part I liked the most about it. I didn't care so much about the characters or anything like that, but I really did like the romance aspect of it. The first half I didn't really care much about, but then the second half went really like off the rails. Like it was supposed to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but then it got really just like unpredictable. I just did not foresee what happened towards the end. I didn't foresee it coming at all. So that's why I bought the book, and because I heard the second one was better. So then I read the second one. It was okay. The romance, once again, was my favorite part. Didn't care too much about the plot. The third one was terrible. It was just a bunch of nothing. I mean, like nothing was happening. It was really, really boring. And then I read the little novella that I thought was so pretty. It was like the prettiest book I bought last year. And it was so horrible that this made me want to give up on this author and series for good. Like, I did not ever want to read the new Court of, what is it? Silver and Flames or Silver Flames or something, about, it focuses on the main character's sister, who I didn't care about at all, and she had like no personality. But I do want to go ahead and continue with Sarah J. Maas one last time, and I'm going to try to read Throne of Glass, which is her probably more famous series. And it's supposedly better. Another teacher at my school even said that the series gets better. So I'm going to power through, maybe read a couple of those books, know that it gets better, and I know there's a bunch of books in the series, so we'll see if I can make it through. Okay, the next author that I would like to give a second chance is none other than Robin Hobb herself. So Robin Hobb is known to be very famous on BookTube. Everybody is reading her series. She has a lot of series. They're all set in the same universe, the realm of the Elderlings, I believe it's called. So this is the first series, the Farseer trilogy, and each one is following this kid named Fitz, who becomes an assassin, basically. So in this one, he's the assassin's apprentice. I tried reading this book and I stopped about, I don't even know if I got halfway through. And I hear it's, it's very character driven, and maybe I was definitely a lot younger when I tried to read this, so maybe I just wasn't giving it enough of a chance. Oh, it smells so good. I'm so sorry. That's in like every video I do. Anyway, I hear that the Live Ship trilogy, which is Live Ship Traders or whatever, that's the better series according to most people, and that they power through this trilogy so they can read the other one. But if it's not necessary, there's no way I'm going to power through this one. So even though they're very slow moving, which I normally don't mind as long as everything else is good about it, the writing and all that. Yeah, Ship of Magic, Mad Ship, and Ship of Destiny. Then there's this Tawny Man trilogy after that. And I think there's another one. There's like a whole bunch of books in this series, like different series, but they're all connected in the same realm, basically. So yeah, I'm going to give Robin Hobb another shot and see if she is everything that BookTube says she is. The next one is another YA novel, and that is, or YA author mostly, and that is Neal Shusterman. I tried reading Scythe because everyone told me how good this book was. It's a series. The third one's out now. It's finished. A trilogy. It won, it was a Prince Award honors book. Honor book. Prince Award is for young adult novels. Somebody told me last year that this was the closest thing they had read to Harry Potter since it came out, which, I mean, not that it's anything like Harry Potter, but just the feeling that they got when they read it, how much they loved it and how much they were into this world. So I thought, well, I'll buy it. And I hardly ever just go out and buy a book without reading it first. So I bought this because I was like, well, if it's that similar to Harry Potter, which is my favorite thing in the world, then I'll do it. So let's see. No, it doesn't even smell good, see? But I did not like it at all. But I think it's really just that I didn't really like the plot, or, I don't know. I don't think it's that I didn't like his writing. I think the writing was fine. So I think Neal Shusterman will be okay for me in the future. He wrote a book called Dry, where like people run out of water or something, and so that one might be a good one for me to try next. I hear that one's pretty good. There are others that I just can't think of at the moment because, you know, I'm incredibly tired with this baby and he's napping, so that's why I'm filming this video. Anyway, we'll see how Neil Shusterman goes. All right, let's do another adult author, and that is Erin Morgenstern. So I tried to read The Night Circus because people said it was really, really good. I say adult, but we have it in our library. Maybe it's young adult. I don't know. I think this one is adult though. But anyway, I tried reading The Night Circus and failed miserably. I hated it. I also don't like circuses though, or anything to do with carnivals or anything like that. So maybe that I just didn't like the premise. I don't really remember the writing style at all. I know people say that her writing is amazing, but honestly, I cannot remember anything hardly about it. It's been like 10 years since I tried to read The Night Circus, and I maybe just didn't give it enough of a shot, but I don't think I would ever want to go back to it. But I hear that The Starless Sea is really, really good. It sounds super weird that there is a far beneath the surface of the earth, upon the shores of the Starless Sea, there's a labyrinthine collection of tunnels and rooms filled with stories. I mean, this just sounds, I don't know. It says it's elegant, poetic prose. It's beautiful. It's an ode to books and storytelling. I love books and storytelling. I love books about books. So, no, it doesn't really smell like anything. So I just bought this, and people love these floppy paperbacks because they just don't have to crack the spine. I don't have too many of these, so we're going to see if I enjoy it. I really like my hardcovers, and I'm really used to reading normal paperbacks that aren't floppy, so we're going to see if I like it. But definitely more expensive than it should be. Like, why is this book $17? Like, what the heck? It's a little paperback. It should be like $7 or, well, $10 or something, like $9.99, not $17. Anyway, so I did buy this just the other day. I have not done a little book haul for the books I bought the other day yet, but I bought it because I hear it's good and I wanted to give it a shot. Books with Brittany, who I talk about several times on the channel because she seems to, or on her channel, she seems to talk about things that I like as well. And she loved Piranesi, and Piranesi was so weird. And I've talked about it recently a lot. So I'm really into wanting to read weird books. So I think this could be one of them. Okay, the next one is sort of YA and adult, because I tried reading the Eragon series way back in the day. Now, Eragon, of course, was written when he was what, like Christopher Paolini was like 14 years old, I think, or something like that. I don't think it tells in here, but he was really, really young. It says he became a best-selling author at 19, but I think he even wrote this before that. Like, I mean, he was like working on this when he was like 14 years old. So, no, it doesn't smell like anything. So I own the first two in the series, and I read the first one and like most of the second one, and I gave up. DNF'd the second one at like 75% in because I just didn't care. Now, one of my other friends read the book and then proceeded to tell me, or she read the whole series, all 4 of them. It is 4, and she told me what the rest of the series was about and what happens, and I remember thinking it did get more interesting, but I just couldn't power through. I just kind of wanted to know the plot, like, okay, here's what happened, all right, the end. I tried watching the movie, and it was terrible. I don't even know if I made it through the movie, honestly. Didn't they only just make one movie? That must have been how bad it was. So I think I will read his new book. He has a sci-fi book. So, of course, this was a YA fantasy novel that he wrote when he was young. Now he, as an adult, has written a large, very large sci-fi novel called To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. I don't know much about it, but I hear very mixed reviews. So I'm a little worried about that, but I would definitely be willing to give him another chance because, I mean, I remember what I heard about the book before. It sounded really cool, so we'll see. And the last book I don't have here with me, but it is anything by Jay Kristoff. So I tried reading, what's it called? See, I'm so tired, I forgot. Not the Illuminae Files. Oh, Aurora Rising. There we go. I tried reading Aurora Rising by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. They wrote it together, and I just didn't like it. I didn't think the characters were good. The writing was fine. It was like whatever, but the plot was just moving at a very strange pace, I thought, and I don't know. I just wasn't into it. It was just kind of predictable and bland and like, okay, a band of people get together. It was like Guardians of the Galaxy, but like for teenagers or something. So I DNF'd that one, and I will give both those authors another chance because they also wrote the Illuminae Files. And I hear that these are so good. I've talked about this book before. The first book's just called Illuminae. It is a trilogy. It's sci-fi. It's young adult. The thing is, it looks really interesting. I wish I had it with me, but Illuminae has like transcripts, interviews, things like that, like case files. Like, it's not written like a normal book. So I always find that really fascinating. Maybe it's kind of gimmicky, but I mean, it might keep me interested more so than the other one. They also, Jay Kristoff also wrote a series or a book called like Never Night or something that people talk about, and I hear very mixed reviews on that one too. So I might give that a shot though, just to see what it's all about. So those are some authors that I would be willing to give a second chance. There are some other authors that I've not read any books by, and I have a feeling that there are some, like Victoria Schwab, V.E. Schwab. I have never read anything by her, and I want to. Same thing with, what's his name? I just bought a book by him, Joe Abercrombie. I've never read anything by either of those people, and they're talked about on BookTube constantly. So if I don't like the first book I read by them, they would definitely be authors that I would give a second chance, because I just hear so much about them, and they have so many books that they are known for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, I never asked you guys to comment, but let me know in the comments some authors that you would give a second shot at reading that you maybe didn't like the first book of. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.